Hey YouTube, it's Kristin. You're watching Chatterbox Budgets. Thank you so much for joining me for a video today. I hope everyone is doing well. It is Wednesday, February 15th, 2023. It's 8:12 p.m. here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I'm here to do a check-in for the first week of February. We'll be doing that in the YNAB app. That's You Need a Budget. And we're just going to jump in. So I am an hourly employee. I'm paid bi-weekly. I do budget monthly, and I'm a month ahead on covering my expenses. So my paychecks from February will be covering my expenses for March. And I track everything in the YNAB app. I haven't been doing a very good job of tracking since October just because life has been absolutely crazy, insane, crazy, busy, overwhelming. And so I've been trying to get back into, first of all, following a budget, second of all, tracking my expenses and actually checking everything every single day. So it's a little bit of a mess right now, and I apologize for that, but I wanted to start doing these videos now because that'll help me get back into being better about my budget and keeping track of everything and all that stuff. So, okay, so on the 1st of February, actually, before I start, I am a credit card user. I use 4 credit cards. I use them all the time. I pay them off all the time. So I have not paid credit card interest since September of 2021. So, yeah. Which I have paid other kinds of interest, but not credit card interest. So, and I do get cash back on all my credit cards, but you'll see that while we're going through. Okay, Prosper Marketplace, $160.71 for a loan payment for my main checking account. That's for a personal loan I did in October, I think, or September of 2021 to pay off a previous loan I had that I needed to get through a different, like a better APR. Anyway, so there's that. And then this is my dad, $21, personal stuff, Venmo, Cash App. He'll pick up my asthma medication for me from Walmart when he's there, and so he did that for me, and I just paid him back for it. YouTube Premium, $12.85 from fees and charges for my Discover card. Walmart Grocery, $7.37 personal stuff on my Chase Prime Visa, just something I had delivered. And then this is my mom, $15 incoming to miscellaneous funds on my Venmo Cash App because I picked up some stuff from her from Walmart with my grocery delivery that I had done the day before, and she just paid me back for it. Or I was getting it for the next day, something like that. So anyway, there's that. And if you haven't watched any of my videos before, this will be very, well, it'll probably be confusing anyway. But I do everything online. I do grocery delivery. I work from home. And so I don't do a lot of interactions with people face to face, which is why I don't use cash. One of the reasons I don't use cash. I also don't feel comfortable having cash around right now. I'm working on feeling better about that. Anyway, okay, on the 2nd of February, Avenue 5, $1,726.19 for rent and utilities on my Discover card. This was I guess a gamble, that's not the right word, but I used my Discover card to pay my rent because I did have enough money in my account, but I was afraid that I would take myself too low on my balance and cause myself some extra stress. And at the time, because I'm still getting overtime, I thought that the fee that I have to pay for using my credit card to pay my rent, which is like $40, it's a lot of money. But I was just, when I was weighing the pros and cons, I decided to just go ahead and do it. I get cash back on my credit card for using it. And what was the other thing? Cash back for using my credit card. And I would pay it off so I wouldn't have to pay any interest. And so, anyway, looking back now, I'm like, well, was that really the best option? But based on everything else that had been happening, that was the best option at the time. Going forward, I won't be doing that. I'm not planning on doing that. Anyway, the point was it was paid, and that was the important part. Okay. I lived paycheck to paycheck, or I would be negative on my bank account balance for so many years that now that I have a little bit of a safety net, even if it is credit, I feel more comfortable using that than getting down to zero on my bank account balance. It stresses me out a lot. Okay, so on the 3rd, Affirm for clothing, $82.40 for my main checking account. I use Affirm to finance bigger purchases and then just usually paid off within just a couple months, but depending on the situation. Amazon.com, $69.71 for clothing. My Chase Prime Visa, I bought 5 sweatshirts for myself that Spent a little bit more than I normally spend, but I got better quality, better, like I like how they look better. The sweatshirts I have had in the past were just inexpensive ones from Walmart, and they were not flattering. I felt very frumpy wearing them, and so I did get rid of those and then replaced them with 5 nicer sweatshirts that have a logo on the front, and they feel more flattering and just, like I said, better quality. Spent more than I would have spent, but I feel like they'll last me for a while. So anyway, that was, yeah. $62.66 for clothing, Chase Prime Visa, another sweatshirt. Cricket Wireless, $55 for my cell phone on my Discover card. I do use my Discover card for paying my bills, and then I pay my credit card off every week. The last 2 months have been the first 2 times I've paid my rent with my credit card. And like I said, I don't plan on doing that in the future. But my other bills I pay with, and then I just get the cash back, and then I just pay the card off. So, okay. Transferred to my Venmo Visa card, $52.67. That was from my Venmo Cash App. That was a credit card payment. I used that credit card to buy some stuff from Franklin Planner the month before when I was at their retail store, and just was paying that off. Amazon.com, $48.26 clothing, Chase Prime Visa, another sweatshirt. Amazon.com, $25.69 for home, Chase Prime Visa. That was for just a nicer, fancier, I wanted to get a outlet cover that had the cord to be able to actually use it, and just has 3 outlets on it. Anyway, it's just so I can put my nightstand up against the wall. More expensive than I probably would have. Kind of an impulse purchase, but it's been worth it. I like it. And I only bought one because the other side of my bed, the outlet's isn't behind my nightstand. Well, that was babbling. I'm so sorry, you guys. I've been awake since 4 a.m. and my brain and my mouth are not connecting. So I am not even in control of what's coming out of my mouth right now. Dominion Energy, $24 for natural gas, main checking. These are just how my videos go, If you're still listening, then thank you for still being here. If you're not still listening, that's okay too. Okay, Kindle Unlimited, $10.71 for fees and charges on my Discover card. That's for exactly what it says, and that's the other side of the Venmo Cash App. Okay. TurboTax on the 4th, $148 for annual funds on my Capital One MasterCard. Now this I knew I was going to be paying for. I've been but setting money aside for it for a year. Applied on $150. I pay through TurboTax. I've done all my research. I've checked all my options, and this is my preferred way to do my taxes. It takes me like a half hour once a year, and I'm done. And they do all of the hard work for me, and I've never had any issues. But I also am single, one job. I claim the right amount of exemptions. So the taxes they take out of each paycheck are smaller. My refund's smaller too, but it all balances out. I would rather have more per paycheck than get more back at the end of the year or the first of the next year, however you want to look at it. That's how I've done it for years. So yeah. And I finally, so I messed up on my taxes in 2015 and 2016. I'm not sure what happened in 2015. Oh yes, I am. So the year my son turned 17 or 18, I can't remember. Anyway, the year I was no longer eligible for the earned income credit because I was a single mom, head of household, and I think it was when he turned 17. I didn't change my exemptions at the right time. So I didn't pay enough taxes that year. And then that year, and I think the next year too, I would claim exempt. I'd go exempt on my withholdings when I had bonuses coming, which is how people had always done it. And I just went along for the ride, but I forgot to change them back. And because those happened at my busiest times of year for work, I was exempt for bigger paychecks. And so I ended up owing more money for taxes. Anyway, so I owed a lot and just paid it off with my taxes every year. And I'm now officially paid off. So that's been nice. I thought I was done already, but I wasn't sure. So the only reason I know I'm done paying it is because I actually got a tax return this year from federal. So I do not recommend doing that. I did not do it on purpose, but I'm just glad it's done now. So yeah. And that's one reason why I claim my taxes. I do my taxes the way I do them is because of things like that. Okay. The 5th, Walmart, $547.69 for home on my Capital One MasterCard. I need to fix this one. This is not the right category. There's food, there's household, which is things like toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning supplies, And then there's home, which is for things like mops, vacuums, something that's going to stay long term that doesn't like get, you don't go through it like you do toilet paper. And then also clothing is on there. So I had an impulse shopping trip to Walmart, which is one reason why I don't go to Walmart to get my groceries, is because stuff like this would happen more often. I've been listening to cleaning videos on YouTube. I don't watch videos, I listen to them. And I was cleaning my bathroom and I had the sudden inspiration to go to Walmart and see what they had as far as cleaning supplies. Because the last time I actually had been to Walmart was in 2020. Actually, no, it was, January 2020. So it was before everything went crazy. I had gone and bought some stuff, but I haven't really been purchasing cleaning supplies for the last couple of years because I had enough already on hand, and then everything else, Anyway, got there, bought everything, just stocked up on everything. Also bought new mats for my kitchen, new linens for my kitchen, like new hand towels and all that stuff. I bought a new mop, duster, things. Anyway, I basically replaced everything I have in my house for cleaning my house, thinking that what I had wasn't working for me. I have asthma and allergies, and so I already struggle with making myself vacuum and dust and stuff like that because it makes my allergies and my asthma, it impacts that. Anyway, spent way too much money, and I didn't regret it when I came home, except for having to carry everything up the stairs. But looking back now, I'm like, yeah, I definitely could have spent that money another way. So anyway, that was good though in a way, because it was a catalyst to help me get back to trying not to spend like mad. Although obviously with clothing, I've had that. Anyway, okay. The 6th, we've got transfer to Venmo Cash App for $100. I just put $100 on my Venmo card to be able to pay for whatever. Sam's Club, $37.67 for gas on my Capital and MasterCard. So because I'm now a grandma and my grandson, they live about 20 minutes away from me. And so because I will be going and using my car more often than I have been the last 3 years, I will be spending more on gas. So that was the amount it cost to put I think I was just below half a tank, so not bad. Prime Video, $6.96 for shopping on my Chase Prime Visa. I bought Sweet Home Alabama on Amazon Prime. I went back to the gym starting the last part of January, but the 1st of February for sure. And so I'm in the cardio cinema every morning for a half hour on the treadmill, and that was the movie that was playing that day, and I wanted to go home and finish it. Thought I had it on DVD. Couldn't find it. I must have given it away or something. And so I wanted to finish it, so I bought it. So, yeah, long version of that. Oh, well, whatever. Prime PBS Masterpiece, $6.42. That was from fees and charges for my Discover card. That was just for the Prime membership for PBS. I got it for a couple months because there was a season 3 of The Wall, which is a show I like on PBS, and I wanted to watch it, so I just kept it for a month, or maybe 2, I'm not sure. It's canceled now, and I just do that every once in a while. Like if my parents want to watch something on there, we'll get it. So, okay, Venmo, credit card, cashback. You can tell I'm out of practice doing these videos because I'm definitely very chatty. Okay, of course I'm chatty anyway. What am I saying? $4.22. That went to miscellaneous funds. That was on my Venmo Cash App. That was just the cashback for using my Venmo Visa card. Walmart.com, $80.33 credit for clothing. That was on my Capital and MasterCard. That was for some gym shirts I returned. So, got them. They didn't, like, the sleeves, the cuff of the sleeves, you could put both hands through, like, both arms through. It was just way big and weird, and the lines on the front of the shirt were in a weird place. Anyway, took them back, $90 or $80. Yeah. I don't buy clothes a lot. Like, I don't buy them all the time. But when I do buy them, I buy a lot in, like, a short span of time, and then I don't buy anything for a year or 2. So, like, I bought brand new everything. Or not necessarily brand new, but I keep 7 of everything, maybe 10, depending on what it is. Like I have 10 pairs of socks. Anyway, I have 7 pairs of jeans. So I have 5 because I change my jeans pretty much every day because I have a dog and a cat and they shed. And so I don't like to rewear clothes because I feel like they're not clean. But I also drive a car that doesn't have air conditioning. So I always feel like I need to wear clean clothes. Anyway. So I keep 5 because I wear one every day and then I do laundry, And then I keep 2 on hand to replace those as they get worn out. So anyway, sorry, that was a whole random rambling thing going on. Oh, I think this one cleared. I need to mark that cleared. Okay, we're almost done, I promise. And then transfer, that's the other part of that one. Okay, the 7th. We're going to stop at the 7th. I'll do the other week later. Walmart.com, $125.87 for clothing. I don't think that's right. I think that's actually supposed to be groceries, but I'm not 100% sure. I have not been keeping track of things like I should. I did go through over the weekend and wrote everything down on index cards, and then I matched it up. So I will be going back and updating these, but I didn't want to keep waiting to do this video until I actually got that done, because otherwise I would probably keep putting it off. So it may have really been clothing. I can't remember what I would have ordered because I feel like I already bought everything. But because I use my Prime Visa card, my Chase Prime Visa card, they don't necessarily, the charges don't clear as fast as my other credit cards have. So like it could take a week or 2 for the charges to clear. So I may have actually spent that on groceries the week before or something. I don't know. Anyway, the point is I spent the money. So yeah. Walmart.com, $24.86. Clothing, again, I don't think that one's right, but it could be. I don't know. I'll figure it out. You'll probably not ever really see it, but it'll be reflected. Because I already took the money out of my ready to assign category, which is basically like my I don't know what to call it. Anyway, miscellaneous kind of. Okay, shopping, $5.10. My Chase Prime Visa, I have no idea what that was for. I still think those are groceries, because usually when I use my Prime Visa card, it's groceries, because I use that card for my unscheduled expenses, which are things like my daily expenses. And then I use my Capital One MasterCard for things that would be out of my, I call them my freedom funds. You can't see me, I'm doing air quotes. And so I usually use a specific credit card for specific reasons. So that's why I think the Walmart.com was groceries. Anyway, it'll all work out. I spent too much money on whatever it was. It's been too much money. Okay, so that's February, the first week of February, basically together. And I may go back over these 2 days when I come back to do the next week's check-in, just because that'll give me a chance to fix them. And then I can just show you real quick, but we'll see. Okay, so February is going to be a mess. January was worse. I decided to start using Olive Garden to go, and the same thing happened like this time last year. I think it was with delivery, and was ordering Olive Garden pretty much every other day for the month of January. January was a rough month. Work was very difficult. There was a lot going on. The grandbaby got here. He ended up spending 6 days in the NICU. He's fine. He was fine. He had jaundice and was dehydrated, and they wouldn't let him go home until he gained some weight and stuff. So, but he's fine. He's doing great. He's so tiny. He's adorable though. Love it. I never expected to be a grandma of humans, because my son didn't want to have kids when we first talked about it like 5 years ago. when he got the dog that is now my dog. Anyway, what was my point? I don't know. Yeah, so January was a very difficult month after 3 difficult months, because October through December was difficult too. But so I was eating Olive Garden, and it's funny because I gave up soda. I don't drink caffeine at all anymore. I've never been a coffee drink. Well, I shouldn't say that. I haven't been a coffee drinker in a long time, and but I was drinking soda. I gave up soda in November, so I was hoping to lose weight for that. But eating pasta every other day in the month of January was not the best way. But I was eating, because the other option would have been, like, for me, if I'm not feeling good or things aren't going well or whatever, I'll end up not eating anything. Like, I shouldn't say not eating anything, but I won't eat enough food, or I'll eat junk. So either way, it's not good. But my point is that I survived the month of January. I only gained like 6 pounds, and I already got rid of it after 1 or 2 weeks on the treadmill at the gym. Anyway, wow, that was that was the chatterboxing championship right there. Anyway, I hope to be back. I'm not going to guarantee anything, because it's really hard to know what's going to happen. Obviously, no, none of us do. But because I do things very differently than everybody else, it's really hard for me to sometimes feel like it's hard to put myself out there, because I do have social anxiety. I do, I have just, you know, I have a lot of reasons that I'm uncomfortable sharing things, but at the same time, I want to share because I want people to see that there's a different side to budgeting. Yes, you can go on a 5-month spending spree and still be able to, you know, go back and get back on track again. Yes, I do still have debt, but my debt now is actually the same amount of debt it was in October because I paid off my credit cards and, you know, everything's just basically I'm back to where I was a year ago, I think. And I'm not saying that's good. I have a lot of things I want to work on. I do need to buy a new car. I would like to move eventually. But anyway, human beings are not perfect. And considering the way things have been the last 5 months and how things have gone and my mental health and different things, which it hasn't been bad, but it also hasn't been as good as it could be. I feel like it could have been a lot worse. And I did make some decisions that were very, very intentional, like the clothing that I bought. I did for a reason. That $600 shopping spree at Walmart for cleaning supplies, not intentional, but the cleaning supplies I purchased are cleaning supplies I've used before. I will use them again. So basically I just stocked up on things instead of having to buy it later. So it's not the best, but it's also not the worst. Sorry. I had my wax melt thing on today, and I'm allergic to fragrances, and so I am sitting by it, and it's just yeah, I had to have it on because they're doing construction next door. My next door neighbors got evicted a couple months ago, which is sad. They also took a month to clean out the apartment, and they are basically gutting it now and redoing it. So there's a lot of different smells and things coming from over there, so I had to turn it on to make it so it didn't stink so bad. And now I'm gonna just sit here and have an asthma attack. But anyway, sorry guys. I am so glad you're here. Thank you for sticking with me if you were able to do that. I'm trying to get back into watching videos again, or I should say listening to videos because I never actually watch them. I listen usually while I'm walking my dog, at the gym, or at work. And so I don't always get to comment when I've watched it. I try to comment when I first start videos. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's enough babbling for me. I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry this is so long, but for the first video back in 5 or 6 months, not too bad, right? I mean, it could be worse. And it would have been if I had been doing January, because that first week of January would have taken me like a half hour. All right, you guys, take care of yourselves. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.